Cynthia Luchov and Dalton, there's Chuck Easton, Eileen Easton, Karen Travelin,
Greg is.
Julia
Greg is
Siegel.
chasing after 6 minutes.
Oh, yeah, Greg Racine is here, and also Eddie.
Stand back a minute.
Oh, yeah, Eddie.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
My background, okay, so I'm a retired high school English teacher, and I was
Fine, I moved
head
this
of
down.
the environmental club at my
Make it look a little
high
tighter.
school, Northern Valley Regional High School at Old Japan for many years, and
Keep it.
one of the things I did, we had no recycling program, one of the things I did is I
A little
went
more.
and I visited the
I'm gonna pan to over there.
MRF, the Materials Recovery Facility locally. and
They taught us, like,
we
panning and
recycled,
stuff
we
in
started
the
recycling.
teen
That was
arts.
back in 2007 when
Ready for a
recycling
plug?
was worth something. You know, I mean, there were all these companies saying, well, please let me put a container on your property so we can, you know, get your recyclables and you make money, you know. And now everything has changed. This is Chris Seidler, he's the head of the DPW, and he, you know, he explained a lot of things to me, and he's gonna hopefully, you know, jump in and answer questions and explain things to you today. You know, things are really in flux in recycling. Actually, recycling is like really bad. It's in really, really bad shape, okay? So, we want to explain what can be recycled, what can't be recycled. I also have some ideas of things, of ways to reduce waste, because that's probably better than recycling is not creating waste. So I have a PowerPoint. I also have a 3.5-minute iMovie that I made visiting the materials recovery facility in Passaic where our recycling goes. And also, the guy who works there just emailed Chris and me 4 photos of the Rutherford truck, where the Rutherford truck dumped today, and so we can, at the end, it'll be a quiz, so you can point out what shouldn't be there, okay? Which is really great, it's really great. So, okay, here we go. So, and if any time you have a question or a confusion, or Chris, if I say anything wrong, I hope you'll correct me. Okay, so, this is, by the way, our community garden. So the basic law, 1987 New Jersey passed the recycling law. Originally, the law said if the cost of recycling exceeds the cost of landfilling, you didn't have to recycle. 2002, that changed. It said that now, even if the cost of recycling exceeds the cost of landfilling, we still have to recycle, which means that's what's gonna happen here. Now, we're gonna be paying more, okay? Because the market for recycling is like, you know, through the floor. You know, it costs a lot of money to recycle certain things that kind of counterbalances what's worth recycling. You're gonna find out that in a few minutes. Theoretically, I found out today, we're supposed to be recycling 60% of our trash by weight. And now the guy I talked to is the head of the recycling at the BCUA, the Bergen County Utilities Authority. He said nobody enforces that. And one of the issues, by the way, is that weight of the weight, glass is like half the weight, right? And so, you know, and glass is worth nothing. Glass is actually a loss. You know, they have to pay money to get rid of glass. Okay, how recycling has changed. At the beginning, there was a lot more paper, because newspapers. I was told today there used to be 5 glass furnaces in New Jersey. Now there's, I don't know, 1 maybe. The law didn't originally mention plastics, and recycling was originally more separated, okay? Sometimes, I don't know, so does anyone remember separating by color?
Yeah.
By class? So that was, if you separate by color, you can actually, that's good, you can really recycle it. If it's all mixed, there's not much you can do with it. But even before we have single stream, we have single stream now. When there was dual stream, even that, it had better quality results, okay? So like right now, we have single stream, which captures a lot more, it's right, you get a lot more.
Well, we have better participation, but we have more contamination, so we have to educate, and we're actually, right now, the markets are very depressed. Right now, as of last month, June's, it cost Rutherford $48 a ton.
Could you move to the center?
Move over just so we can.
I'm sorry. It costs Rutherford currently $48 a ton to dispose of single stream recycling. Now that's obviously has escalated since January of this year. The issue that we have is that it is more efficient for us to collect with the automated trucks, less labor and more personnel can be allocated to different things. But there are some negatives, and right now the single stream recycling market is the worst. Okay. I believe the commingle recycling right now, the disposal charge is $25 a ton. And mixed paper is the only positive at this point, and even that's $5 a ton. Just to give you a little,
But that's when you collect it separately.
what's that? That's correct.
That's from businesses.
Right, what we do, right. We started in March of, on Tuesday, we recycle, we pick up recycling in the commercial district. So any of the commercial district, you see a lot of liquor stores that have high volumes of cardboard. We have begun to pick them up with a cardboard paper truck, and we dump that. It helps us a little bit to defray some of the cost. Reality is we're looking at everything right now. We're going to start, with enforcement. Now, obviously, you see these large 95-gallon cans there. We can't see in them, and the truck driver has a camera, but by the time he sees the load, it's in the truck already. So, I instructed the drivers to start to be more vigilant now. If they see materials in the can that are not recyclable, all right, we're getting to the point where we're not going to pick it up, and then we're going to, through education. But up in Wyckoff Township, they were a single stream recycler. They have just gone back to a every other week,
Right.
picking up commingle recyclable week 1, paper week 2, commingle week 3, paper week 4. It's something that I think that at least we have to have the conversation with at this level and then at the governing body level to see what we can do. It's going to take some. It's a little inconvenient. It's going to take people having their paper, whether we pick it up, whether we're able to pick up the paper with the automated truck, or whether we have to pick up the paper as we used to pick it up. That's a possibility, but everything is going to be for discussion because the markets don't have show any sign of getting any better.
When you say $48 a ton, does that include the labor of
What's that?
of
No, that's just what we pay. In other words, right
So
now,
you paid
we pay Atlantic Coast.
You pay.
That's the
We
tipping
pay.
fee, that's the tipping cost?
That's the tipping fee, that's correct.
So they're making some money off of some of the stuff.
Yes.
But even with the money they're making, they're still charging us $48 a ton. Like they make money off of aluminum.
What's the cost of garbage?
$64.50.
So it's not much.
Not much. And I'll be very honest with you right now, from an efficiency standpoint, it would be more efficient for us to send the trucks out to pick up the garbage, recycle it together, and take it to landfill. That's I can't do it legally, but there are some states that have already petitioned their individual departments of environmental protection looking for some amnesty or some authorizations to dispose of their recyclables in the waste stream. So there's a lot of blame here, okay? We've gotten, our product that we recycle is not as clean as it should be. Brian, I'll show you some photos of one load that was dropped off today, and there are items in there. And people think, and you see it all the time, people see a toy set and they're like, that's plastic, it's recyclable. But it's not recyclable if it has no market. It just becomes an added expense for the, Brian refers to material recovery facility, also known as a MRF. So Atlantic Coast Fibers are MRF. So it becomes an expense that they have to bundle and card out, and it just drives the cost up. But as early as in the late 2007, 2008, markets were great. China was buying anything you could give them. The economy was rolling along, and we were essentially getting crazy rebates. We were getting $76 a ton to get rid of commingle, $110 a ton to get rid of paper. Okay? So it just, with China, and I think I don't want to cover too much, I know you got things go. Then China got wind that everything that they were bringing into their country was contaminated. Okay, and they started with their initiative. Their first initiative was green fence, and then it just get greener and greener. And right now, I read something today. What I'll do is, as I get some of this material, maybe I'll get everybody to contribute this, so everybody can start to see some of this.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right now, China's importing about 5% of the product that they were as early as 2 years ago. And they were taking 35% of the world's recycling. So when you take that much of a reduction from someone who's that much of a consumer, that's the problem we're having right now. And if you went to Atlantic Coast recently, you saw probably a pretty good amount of product waiting to go somewhere because they're looking for markets, okay? Now, there's some hope on the horizon. I just heard the other day on the radio that Reebok has committed to, I think in 2020, to have exclusively using only recycled plastics in their products. So if US companies and other markets begin, step up and start to do that kind of work, then it will, it can work, okay? And if our recyclables are of a higher quality that we bring to Atlantic Coast, then that's a plus. So we have a lot of work we have to do, but it's a good start.
Yeah, so, yeah, thanks. Chris said some of the things that were, that are on this slide, basically that we used to send tons of recyclables to China. And I think part of what happened is because China became such a big market, it probably put out of business some of the people in the States maybe, And so they were the best market for paper and cardboard. They used to take 50% of the US paper. Atlantic Coast Fibers, which is our MRF, they actually, he told me, they actually sent all their stuff to places in the States except for paper. Paper always went to China. So there's a green fence, and the national sort was 2018, started in 2018. National sort policy is the policy that really cut off the recycling this year. Now theoretically it's only 1 year, but no one thinks that they're going to go back to what they were doing. Okay, and anyway, so because of China's new policies, as Chris said, MRFs are scrambling to find markets, prices for materials are falling, in some cases it costs money to get rid of material, so materials need to be cleaner and purer. Single stream recycling produces lower quality materials, so the paper and cardboard that Chris is, that the DPW is collecting separately is a higher quality than the stuff that comes out of single stream. If we didn't have, well, okay, I'll get to this later. I also read that low oil prices have made recyclable plastics less valuable. I don't know if that's still going to be true. So we use, in Rutherford, we use single stream. Everything's hauled by Atlantic Coast Fibers, ships mostly to domestic processors. Right now, half of their intake is dual stream and half of their intake is single stream. And he says, he gets higher prices for the stuff that comes through dual stream. 60% of the weight of recycling is glass, which has no value and costs money to dispose of. It all gets mixed together, it all gets broken, and the glass contaminates the paper, okay? And that's not even, I'm not even talking about wetness. Wetness makes it even worse. But even if the glass are perfectly dry, it would contaminate the paper. They get more from paper and glass they collect separately. All right, now I'm going to play you a little movie, my first iMovie ever. So I apologize for how hanging here, but this is my. Okay, you don't have to read. Sorry, no, I couldn't figure out music either.
That's right, you don't want to be breaking copyright laws.
So there you go. Look at that stuff. That's the stuff that's on the tipping point. Look at that big thing. Shouldn't be there. Look at all the plastic bags. Every single plastic bag shouldn't be there. Look at this little bulldozer, look at this hose. See that hose?
Wow, that's huge. Oh, look at that hose. That hose is so good.
So what was?
Well, it was on the left, it was pulling out a hose. This is the belt. Look, guys, just pulling crap off the belt that doesn't belong there. So the paper gets kind of blown up on top and the other stuff drops down. Plastic bag gets stuck in the machinery. These guys are pulling out mostly plastic bags. If no one put plastic bags in, these guys wouldn't be working there.
Doesn't look like a good job, eh?
They spend most of their time pulling out plastic bags, lawn chairs, toys, coolers.
That was padded
You see some of the stuff on the left that they pulled out?
If a lawn chair is made out of plastic, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
No,
There was a time when they were in demand for product, we were recycling everything. They wanted styrofoam, became a high quality recyclable.
Okay, so when did it change?
When did it change? When China closed the doors with their green
This
fence?
year?
No,
Well,
no, no.
2013, green fence was when they started.
2013.
We're just being told now in 2018, because I didn't know it changed in 2013. You can
Well,
arrest me right now, I've been thrown out.
So we're getting some less done, that's good.
Okay,
So
okay.
we're really successful.
All right.
so look, see, those are plastic bags. This is called a star sorter. And so when those things are running, the paper goes up and the cans and bottles go down. Those are plastic bags caught on the star sorter. So someone has to stop it, take a razor blade and cut them off and pull it. Can you imagine how hard that is? how time consuming that is.
It's not necessary.
This is another view of a star sorter. This is a conveyor belt bringing it up to the star sorter. Star sorter, yeah. Very high tech. This is some of the stuff that they, get pulled off the line. This is all stuff that they pulled off. All stuff that shouldn't have been in there. And not only do they pull it off, now they have to pay the landfill it. And that's why we're paying them money. That's a drum with glass. All right, this next piece of video is really bad, but you'll see what the glass ends up looking like in a second. There it is. That's what the glass ends up looking like. Yeah. All they're doing is pulling out plastic bags. All those people. They have an optical scanner, really, really high tech. This is slow motion.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Very expensive machine. And this is what it looks like when they bail it. There's a Chris was saying it's ready to go out. They're looking for a place to send it. This is HDPE number 2. Head number 1. Yeah, aluminum, recycled aluminum is very efficient.
You shouldn't need anything, so
Oh, what it causes Alzheimer's?
So we should drink canned beer and not bottled beer?
Yeah, canned beer,
the
absolutely.
glasses,
Yeah.
what do you want? Drink it, each other.
So big lesson, no plastic bags, no bottle caps, don't practice wish cycling. So that's the big takeaway. All right, back to the PowerPoint.
So no plastic bags, and then when you have a water bottle, separate the top, throw the top into the garbage,
That's right.
plastic into the recycling.
Yeah, the water bottles are typically polyethylene terephthalate, PETE number 1, and they can be recycled. The caps are actually number 5, but the thing is they're too small to go into the recycling machines. I mean, like, there are places like Whole Foods used to take them. You can go to Whole Foods and get them some, but I don't know if you could still do that. But plastic bags, if you bring them to your supermarket, they can be recycled because they're clean, and you know what they make them into? Trex lumber.
What's that?
That's like deck lumber. So Trex lumber is very environmental.
I don't know, is it coming back?
Okay, so we're gonna go back to this PowerPoint. Okay, so let me see if I can play. There we go. Okay, so here's what can be recycled. And one of the things I was really surprised at is, look at the top. We can recycle orange juice and milk cartons. Are called gable top containers, and I was really surprised at that. They're high quality paper, and the reason you can do it is because of the optical scanner.
But you have to
We have to take the cap off.
You should take the plastic cap off.
Okay,
That's right.
but
That's right.
not like the box containers that have like a flat top,
No.
like you would.
No. Juice boxes
Okay.
no.
Just to get.
Because there's several different things.
Okay.
Does it matter that there's gonna be a little bit of plastic left in the top?
I
Maybe you
guess
take the
not.
top
I
off
guess
and
we
then
cut
you
that
put it
out.
in.
No, that's the coating, no, it's not, it's supposedly the gable top packaging is a high quality, higher quality recycling.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
again, that changes, okay? There are things that, that we used to recycle that we can't, and I have some literature from Oakland that I received 6 months ago from Atlantic Coast Fiber that told me that gable top packaging was not an acceptable recyclable, and obviously it now
That
is.
changed, yeah, and it changes.
It's
all-
ongoing.
It changes all the time. So, okay, clean glass containers, clean plastic containers, without the tops. PET number 1, HDPE, high density polyethylene number 2, PP polypropylene number 5. So 1, 2, and 5, not 3, 4, not 6, 7. Clean metal cans, tin, steel, or aluminum. Clean aluminum cans or
Can you
aluminum.
slow down for a minute?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
1, 2, 5, 3, 4, can you explain?
Okay, so number 1, I'm sorry. So number 1 is polyethylene terephthalate, that's PET, PETE. So if you look at the triangle at the bottom, you should see a number 1 in it. Often it'll say PET or PETE, okay? And those are like water bottles, for example, or it could be like seltzer bottles, soda
They're the
bottles.
real light ones,
Yeah,
very light.
well, yeah, but they can be thicker too, okay? Number 2 is high density polyethylene, those would be like detergent bottles, right? Thicker, harder plastic, it could be clear, it could also be colored, it's the HDPE, and that's again number 2. And I often, when I look at the triangle, I can't see the number, but sometimes it'll have the letters below it, HDPE or PETE. And then number 5, polypropylene, and that'll have PP under it, okay? And I forget what kinds of things are polypropylene, I don't.
Clear plastic sheeting is often like the kind you use outside, like clear tarps.
That's correct.
Yeah, but usually that's not, usually it's kinds of containers, right?
Yeah, and on number 7, is all, look, like I told you now, there was a time when number 7 was
Yeah.
acceptable, it's no longer.
What are the heavy plastic, non-BPA, like you get, Poland spring water in, the gallon things, and
I
the
don't know.
milk comes in it
We'll have to
too?
check on that, I know you're talking about the big 5 gallon, the
The milk
daddy
comes
cut.
in, yeah, yeah,
There's-
or even 1 gallon.
There's no
Gallon
number,
jugs.
there's no number on it?
Gallon jugs.
There should be a
I
number.
don't know, I'm asking you
Oh,
right
okay.
now, I can go home and look, but then I'll have to do 2 things, I'll have to see what you tell me and go home and look.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's 1, 2, and 5, anything that's 1, 2, and 5, and if it doesn't have a number, you can't recycle it.
Oh, it doesn't have a number, you
Oh,
can't
okay.
recycle it.
Yeah, and
I
here's
don't
the-
think they have a number though.
Yeah, here's the thing, if it doesn't have a number, and the bottom line is this, if you give them something that can't definitely be recycled, then we're pretty much saying, okay, you have to go now and pay money to landfill it.
So it just goes in the garbage?
Yeah, it goes in garbage. Because if you don't put it in the garbage, they'll put it in the garbage and charge Rutherford too.
No, I
You
get
know what I'm
that.
saying? So that's-
But this is not a really good system.
No, it's not. It's better not to use
How
plastic.
do other,
Don't use
how do
plastic.
other countries do it? When we lived in Germany, it seemed they had a
Yeah, we
system.
were just in Germany and they have, you bring your
You can take your
recycle
stuff
there,
you
they
want.
have, they, we put your green glass, your white glass, your.
Well, that's more
brown
separated,
glass,
yeah.
and your paper.
If you want a
Yeah.
plastic
You
bag,
bring
But at least
it,
they take
there's an
everything.
area
Yeah.
that you can walk through and you bring it.
There might be more, government mandates to recycle.
Okay.
That might, I mean,
Return.
pardon?
In Germany, you still get money back when you return glass.
Yeah.
So it's about
If we had a bottle bill, okay, this is later, if we had a bottle bill, glass recycling would probably be more profitable.
I mean, if you had stations set up, I would be happy to bring my stuff and sort the
The
glass.
problem is, we're very space challenged. We are not permitted by the agreement of the developer that built the Public Works Garage to have a recycling center.
Oh.
All right, so, but we do have a drop-off area, if anybody's unaware, on every Saturday from 9 AM to 1 PM. You can get rid of your vegetative waste that we can pick up at the curb, and you get rid of your paper and your commingled recycling if you choose to do so. That's it, it's open every Saturday unless it's a major holiday.
But it's not gonna help you if I
No.
divide up my glass.
Like I said, if what we used to recycle, the recycling truck that used to come around Rutherford, this is, dating myself. It came around and had about 6 different compartments on it, okay? And we used to separate, you'd have brown glass, green glass, white glass, tin cans, aluminum,
Okay.
all right, and it worked, but people, it became so labor intensive to collect it, that it becomes so inefficient that it's, I hate to say it, it hurts the environment, but it just doesn't thrive.
I mean, it would, we would have to really do things differently if, and there would have to be like a major,
I mean, we lived in Germany from 2004 to 2007, and we were, that's
Brown
what we
glass, green
learned to
glass,
have
blue glass.
our, that's what we learned, not to bring, not to get plastic bags.
Yeah.
We had our little tote bags,
Yeah.
otherwise they were charging. We came back to the States and we was like, oh.
Well, I think
we have our own plastic
there's
bags.
pending legislation out to charge for bags. So I
But
think
now
you're
we're
gonna see-
changing,
Yeah,
but
we're
we're
changing
like
that.
years behind.
We're behind.
oh,
Do you have a question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do. They talk about clean glass, clean plastic. A lot of people have these two-stroke leaf blowers, weed whackers, and that comes in a nice plastic container. Oil mixed with the gasoline, but it's contaminated.
It's contaminated, you can't, and there's really no way to safely clean that, so that goes in the garbage,
Even though it's got the symbol.
Right, even the quality of the, that's a big part of that we're getting pushback from Atlantic Coast is where, you'll recycle that jar of sauce, but you won't rinse it, okay? So that sauce that's in the bottom of that jar contaminates the paper and the other items, and then it just degrades the quality of the load, and then everything just, follows along.
Is this the right time for questions?
Sure.
All right, so as residents, we want to be good residents and do the right thing. I remember when we get the schedule for garbage pickup, we also get some instructions on what's recyclable. And I just committed to memory that is 1, 2, and 5, and that's it,
Yeah,
right?
we're going to be, this organization is very effective at getting the word out. We're going to be putting more information on the website. We're going to be much more restrictive. We're going to start to be more restrictive in some of the items that we collect, so.
Because, studies show that the more educated the community is, the better the recycling is. And this is wonderful that you're doing that, and perhaps the green team, and I could help if needed, could create materials that are flexible, that we get used to getting notifications. Oh, well, now we change this, and now we change that, right? So that we change with you as you need to change, right?
We can do that.
Absolutely. See, our volume of recycling is increased since we went to single stream. So that's a positive, but we now have to clean it up. And if we clean it up and we increase the volume, then it becomes something that's, a little bit more sustainable.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that happened is so now the DPW has a pictorial chart, right?
Right, yeah,
To
that's
show
the
what
one,
can be
that's the
recycled.
one. Right.
And that's pretty good. The only thing, the gable tops aren't on there though.
No, they're not, that's why.
But everything else is correct on there, yeah.
Those are on there, Brian.
No, they're on here.
They're on here, but.
On steel and aluminum.
That don't recycle.
Yes.
Right.
No, so so what I'm saying is that's the one thing that's
Oh, just
wrong
that, yeah.
about the DPW's chart.
Do we include the caps on the?
No.
No caps, nowhere.
No caps at all.
On steel and
The
aluminum.
only
Okay.
metal can lids that you take off, like pull top or when you open with a can opener, those are okay, but no other caps of any sort. I'm sorry.
Can anything other than cans and like steel cans and stuff be recycled, like disc brakes, pure steel?
No. No, the problem is the metal of the disc brake is too dense, okay? It just gets thrown out, okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah, the tin cans, the volume is small that they can.
So they just can't handle the weight
They
of.
can't handle, exactly.
Their machine, everything's done by machine, you saw the machine.
Yeah,
right?
okay. So
The only thing people are doing is they're pulling the crap out that shouldn't be there.
So is there any way to recycle?
Yeah, if you have heavy metal, you can go right.
Oh, yeah, we do a curbside metal collection.
Yeah.
On an appointment basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So we wound up with a lot of stops. We limited, just by staffing wise, we limited to about 75 to 80 stops on Wednesday. So sometimes you may call for Wednesday, call Public Works or emails,
Yeah.
dpw@rutherford-nj.com, and we'll schedule you. You might be a few weeks out, okay?
Got it.
What will happen is as the markets get better and the value goes more, then the scavengers will come in overnight when we don't see it. And they'll call back and say, hey, that metal I put out for you is gone.
Is there something in addition to 1, 2, and 5 where you have clean plastic containers? Are they different than 1, 2, or 5? So, in other words, is clean plastic containers only 1, 2, and 5?
Yes.
Okay, it's not like a separate thing?
No. Yeah, I'm sorry.
What about like a lid from a jar? Is that
No.
garbage?
A glass jar, metal lid, garbage.
Oh,
Clam
metal
shells?
lid?
Clamshells, if they're the right number, are okay. Julia?
So the metal lids are,
The metal, I found that out today. The metal lids on glass
the
jars,
Snapple lid.
garbage.
Garbage for the metal on glass jar?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, I guess theoretically, he said there's plastic on there. I guess theoretically, maybe.
There's plastic, there's for what do you call it, there's seal.
So it's a combination thing?
But also, it's not like a combination thing. It's too small to go through their machines.
Okay, but there's plastic in those milk carton tops. You take the top off,
I
and
don't know.
underneath is plastic.
All I know is that this is what he told me. I talked to the guy today at 10 o'clock. Julia?
Yeah, I know that in the communication that comes out annually, it specifically says clean, clear plastics.
No, it's not clear.
So
It has to be
is
clear.
it's just clear of debris, not clear
Yeah,
as in
it just has
color.
to be clean.
Not
Clean and dry preferably. By the way, I just want to say about metals, what Chris was saying about metals is, and I'm going to include this on the email that I sent. I'm going to send you an email with tips and links. There are plenty of places you can go to get rid of heavy metals.
And you actually can, you'll get money, there's,
I've done it.
there's a place in Clifton, Wallington,
Bergenfield.
3 or 4 in the whole area.
Really
Get
close.
money for
Say it.
tin things, you mean?
Come on,
You get money for aluminum, you get money for aluminum and
But you get, but
copper.
if you have something in your house, if you have brass in your house, if you have copper in your house, you definitely get value.
I made a trip and I got like $50. I mean,
You must have had a lot.
Well, we had construction.
But it's a win, a double win for us because it's money, that we get, and right now, our average intake from our metal collection is about $300 a week, which doesn't sound like a lot of money, but that is 2 to 3 tons of metal that's not in the waste stream.
Yeah.
So that's,
So you're not
anything we
paying.
can do is,
Yeah.
I'm assuming cardboard big cartons are okay, but not styrofoam.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Cardboard,
By the way, there is a way of dealing with styrofoam, but not, we can't.
We can't do it, they do it in Sussex County, it's
They have a
a
machine.
machine, but it's extremely labor intensive, and
Expensive.
the yield, it doesn't.
But it goes in the garbage otherwise.
Yeah, because styrofoam goes in the garbage. Again, trying not to use styrofoam.
And there's also, periodically, our town, I think Seacog has banned styrofoam packaging, you're gonna hear more, I think you're gonna hear more of that coming up.
There's a company in Springfield, New Jersey that takes styrofoam, like, packaging, not food, packaging, not like takeout containers and not peanuts, but they take the, like, when you get a TV out of a box,
Right.
they'll take that in Springfield, New Jersey, and I'll put that on the email. Okay. Anyway, okay, so,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I remember on Facebook you said you were looking into the Vetsol cups.
Oh, yeah, there's 6.
There's 6.
So
Okay.
No good. Huh?
They're not recyclable.
They're not recyclable. Number 6 is not recyclable.
And then the wax coated, like, so if you were to get a soft drink from Wendy's or
Yeah.
something, those
Yeah,
cups.
No, that's garbage.
No, pretty much no beverage cups are gonna be recyclable.
The only thing
Again,
that was
original
here-
book.
Plastic coating would be
The
your.
Starbucks ones are.
That's what they're gonna give us
There's
a
a-
handout.
Well, he could get it in
They're
here.
not
I'm gonna be tested when I get
What's
home.
She's saying that the
Straws
Starbucks.
straws are.
Yeah, straws are like, forget it. Straws are just garbage.
And then just a question, like, for something that comes out annually every year, is that to be updated every year?
Oh, we're going with that,
Yeah,
we're not gonna wait, there's gonna be stuff on the, there's gonna be stuff we're gonna add to the website, we're also gonna add,
Yeah, no, that would probably be the most complete and up to
right,
date.
but and on the mailer in December, it's definitely going to be, there'll be more information and more accurate information.
And one thing is, certainly if you're on this email list, the green team will update you. Yeah.
The UPS store will take the styrofoam peanuts, I've done that.
Oh.
But if we get overwhelmed, they might stop. I just bring a bag down when you get home.
Okay. I've also heard there are peanuts, they're made out of biodegradable materials. Corn or whatever.
The big retailers seem to be getting the message, because I know that, my wife's a pretty good Amazon shopper, so. A lot of their materials are coming in paper.
Yeah.
As a packing material versus styrofoam, so that's that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, paper and cardboard is.
Came with like the spear filled.
Yeah, that's not great either, because you still have to,
Yeah, plastic.
you gotta break them up and put them in the garbage.
I'm sorry.
Those, she just talked about, they go in the garbage or do we?
They go in the garbage.
Shopping.
No,
I
you
think
can-
you
you
can
can-
put it with a plastic
You
bag.
probably
Yeah,
put
you
it in a
can put it in
plastic
plastic
bag if you have a place to bring it
Yeah,
back.
clean plastic bags can get recycled, again, you have to bring them
Even
to
though
the
we didn't get it
supermarket.
from the supermarket.
That's right, but
Okay.
you can go to Whole Foods takes them, and Whole Foods doesn't use plastic bags.
And the ones that Trader Joe's has, that they say they're biodegradable, we just throw those in the garbage?
What, Trader Joe's, the paper bags?
No, they have a plastic, looks like a plastic bag, you put your produce in it, and it
Oh,
says it's
really?
biodegradable.
I didn't know
That's
that.
very soft, does that mean we can actually just?
I thought they
throw it
only
in
use
the garbage?
paper, I don't know.
I have no idea about that. I try to use these are like mesh bags,
Oh, so you
I bring
take-
my own, yeah.
Oh, so you take them?
Yeah, I don't know about Trader Joe's. I've heard there are biodegradable plastics. I don't know how good they are. The one thing about when you talk about compostable plastics or plastics, usually it has to be hot. Like you have to have a hot compost.
We have the dog picking up stuff, I'm just wondering if it really is biodegradable or not. They
I
say it is.
don't 100% know about that, but I should check it into.
Chinese soup containers?
Oh, those are plastic. What number do they have?
I don't know, I never looked, I never
Yeah.
thought, they didn't say one to you.
Just have to look. I think they are. I think they're recyclable, but again, look for 1, 2, or 5, PETE, HDPE, or PV. That's what it is. All right, so these are the things that you can, by the way, aluminum foil or aluminum pans that are clean can also be recycled, and they can be crushed, but, yeah,
What about hangers?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
And the one you can have picked up with metal, they're either gonna be in your metal pickup, or they're gonna be for your.
Take them to the dry cleaners.
Take them back to the
Right,
dry
right.
cleaners.
Okay, so what can't be recycled, plastics number 3, 4, 6, or 7. 3, 4, 6, or 7. Plastics with no number. Hard rigid plastics like toys, although, there are places that can recycle it, but we can't. Plastic bottle caps cannot be recycled. Plastic bags, again, you bring them to the supermarket. Styrofoam cannot be recycled. Metal bottle caps and lids to glass jars cannot be recycled. Disposable cups, plastic or paper. Now, you were saying Starbucks can be?
Cold with the cold.
the cola. Now, this is what I've heard here, the problem is with paper cups is that a lot of them are coated with like a plastic coating.
Yeah.
And what I read was that you can't even tell, like the average person cannot tell.
So the milk cartons.
Well, again, I don't know, that's, I'm just telling you.
There's
it's
something in the packaging, it's a high quality material that's used in the gable type packaging.
Yeah.
It
Apparently-
is a plastic material, but it is something that they are recycling.
Apparently, they can get enough value out of it that it's worth it, that's all I can tell you. Straws are no good, shredded paper should not go into recycling. Okay, shredded paper, you know, there's a yearly shredding pickup in our, the BCUA organizes it.
They actually, there's on, if you go to bcua.org, there's shredding events pretty much for a 6-month period from starting in March going right through October.
Ours was last month.
Well, but you can go there.
Oh, you can go there.
Yeah, you can go there.
You can also drop it off at Staples.
I mean, up at Marana, we sit there, they have
The
a.
BCUA is in Littleberry.
They run something in Mama, they run something
Yeah,
in.
so there's also one for Mama, that's.
Yeah, they have, but the other thing you do with shredding is you can compost it. I mean, shredded paper and shredded cardboard is great for compost, and you need it. You're gonna compost, you need those browns, okay? And of course, any soiled paper or cardboard, I can't tell you how much discussion I've heard about pizza boxes.
Right.
I guess like everyone, like, this is like a major thing. Everyone's like, don't put pizza boxes in the recycling. I mean, theoretically, if you have a completely clean pizza box or you tear off the top, you can, but apparently, you know, that, anything soiled with food, no good, okay?
Getting back to the paper, just quickly.
Go back.
If we're taking it to one of those BCUA places, the paper.
The shredded paper?
We can take the shredded, we also can take unshredded paper for that, right? Or does-
I
can
don't
it-
know.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so
They-
any
yes.
paper.
If you go on the bcua.org, it will tell you all the information.
Okay. Anyway, so how to prepare your recycling, so, because it's easy for the quality of the paper to become degraded by liquids or foods, you wanna make sure that it's clean and dry. And including plastic items that can't be recycled degrades the quality of the plastic materials. And that's one of the things that China, see, what China did is they said now that like any, load of plastic has to be 0.5% or less contaminated. It used to be 5%, now it's 0.5% or less. So anytime you put anything that is doubtful in the plastic recycling, you're basically, you know those people who are pulling stuff out? You're making the Atlantic Coast Fibers pay them. And that's what makes our costs go up so much. Containers should be clean as dry as possible. Don't put plastic or metal bottle caps or metal lids to glass jars. Metal can lids, like cat food or in a soup can, they're okay. Just put them right in the can, okay? No plastic bags, bring them to the supermarket, and don't engage in wish cycling, which is what we all do, okay? Okay, what becomes recycled aluminum? Aluminum cans can be made into new aluminum cans an unlimited number of times. It uses only a fraction, like 5% of the energy that is used for making it from bauxite ore. And also, there are toxic byproducts that are produced when you make new aluminum out of bauxite. Doesn't occur when you make it out of recycled aluminum, so that's really good. What becomes of plastic? So these are just some examples. PET #1 can be made into new bottles. HDPE #2 can be made into pens, drainage pipe, children's toys, plastic lumber. BP #5 can be made into ice scrapers, bike racks, rakes, pallets, trays. These are just examples, okay? Mixed plastics can be made into garden pots, like when you buy seedlings. And recycled plastic bags are used into Trex lumber. And Trex, I was very, not only did they use recycled plastic, but they use recycled lumber, wood, some wood and plastic together. Glass gets broken up into small pieces and is used only as a cover for landfills. It is not, certainly not our glass from our single stream recycling is not used to make new glass. It's possible that it could be done if it were separated, but that's not what's happening here. And Atlantic Coast Fibers pays $32 a ton to get rid of the glass. That's part of that's a negative. That's what they're balancing that against their income, right? Glass bottles and states with bottle bills can be manufactured into new bottles, okay? And some of the clear glass that Atlantic Coast gets for dual stream recycling can be used in making fiberglass. That's not us, that's dual stream, okay? What becomes of paper and cardboard, new newsprint, egg and berry cartons, paper plates, construction paper, sheetrock, paper bags, paperboard packaging, cardboard boxes, toilet paper, paper towels, facial tissues. I asked about Mark Cal. Atlantic Coast Fibers doesn't deal with Markel. Markel has their own suppliers, but, you know, they're supposedly all made out of recycled paper.
Wait, before you go, so this is what it becomes.
Yes.
Paper towels and tissues are not recyclable in themselves.
No, but they're compostable. You know, this is the end product. And you, by the way, yeah, paper towels, you can compost them. You have compost, just throw them in there, and they'll go. You don't even have to shred them, they'll just break down. Tissues, all that stuff.
But don't put it in the recycling bin.
No, absolutely not, absolutely not. This is end products.
Can you compost, toilet paper if they have oil on them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, sure, okay. And this is, I was looking for prices, but it's so complicated, I couldn't figure it out. So I just give you a hierarchy, more or less, most to least valuable, okay? And this is for us, for our single stream recycling. Paper that's in dual stream or separated elsewhere is more valuable, like the paper that the DPW collects from businesses is more valuable. So that's why it's so low here. And part of the reason the paper is so low in value is because of the China market, you know, because China dropped out. I mean, 10 years ago, paper was much more valuable, you know, as Chris was saying. And glass, you know, is really the worst. Glass is not only, does it cost money to get rid of, but all those machines you saw, the glass destroys those machines.
But you said that's only the Atlantic Coast.
No, that's with the single stream recycling. Yeah.
However, glass is clean to the plant.
Glass is better than, yes, yeah. Glass is better than plastic in terms of, you know, because, you know, plastic is made out of oil, you know, and it's, you know, and there are toxins associated with plastic, and there are a lot of problems with plastic. I have a slide about that.
Okay, it's not biodegradable.
Pardon?
It doesn't degrade.
Well, glass doesn't either, but plastic, yeah, plastic will be here forever. Like a plastic bottle, you know, the water bottle you buy today will be here in 700 years, yeah.
So with this, are we saying that you should put your glass bottles in the recycle stream?
Yeah, I mean, that's,
It's just that they aren't worth that much because they're gonna get crushed in the truck.
yeah, they're not worth, I mean, you know, one of the things, okay, so.
I mean, it makes the stream, worse.
I mean, I agree, but we don't have the choice, because.
No, this is what they're accepting, and right now, you know, according to the Recycling Enhancement Act, if you're taking glass and putting it in the garbage, you're not supposed to, even though it has a minimal benefit to the,
Right.
to the earth, so.
I mean, if we were separating it, it would be more valuable. I mean, part of the issue is that we have this law, and the law goes by weight, right? It's supposed to be 60% of our recycling, of our trash is recycled. And it goes by weight, and glass is all the weight. If you got rid of the glass, it would really improve everything about recycling.
Oh, wait, so I should put the glass, it's okay to put the glass in the recycle?
Yeah.
Why aren't recycling?
Maybe Chris has the answer to this question. You say aluminum is pretty good
Yeah.
in terms of recycling. Why do companies make like cans of water? Why does it have to be a bottle of water? Like seltzer comes in cans.
This is more expensive.
But you don't want to
I
drink.
think it's
out of
more
cans
expensive,
like
I mean,
that.
I don't know.
I'm
Last
just
year
saying,
during-
I mean, it's so much, it's easier to recycle, we can use it again.
Well, they make cans of seltzer.
Yeah.
Last year during Hurricane Irma, Anheuser-Busch stopped their production line and they started to can water
Right.
as, you know, for rescue purposes. So it can be done, I just believe it's more costly.
It must be more expensive. I mean, aluminum is valuable, you know.
Why aren't we separating those? I mean, why is there single stream?
Because of,
Right now, it's labor, it's very labor intensive to separate the individual items. Okay, we are, from a collection standpoint, it is more efficient for us to pick up the automated can with a single driver. Okay, the alternative to that would be to do a commingled recycle, okay, which we can still pick up with the automated driver, where we just do the glass and plastic, one pickup and then paper a separate pickup. These are some of the things that we're.
but it still wouldn't be separated by color.
Still not to be separate color.
And we still break up.
It's just too labor intensive for us to have that kind of truck, and the cost and the markets just there wouldn't be any value add, so.
You know, and people would have to, and also people have to comply. I mean, maybe you guys would, but I don't know, other people would. Okay. Problem with plastics, I mean, and you were talking about plastics, so there's a lot of problems with plastics. All plastic ever made is still with us. Worldwide recycling with plastic is like 9%. Plastics release toxins, not just BPA. You think BPA free is good, no, but there's lots of other toxins in plastics, okay? especially when heated. Don't ever microwave plastic, ever. And I've talked to people who said you should never put food in plastic, ever. I mean, I do, but I don't know. When plastic is recycled, it degrades in quality. Even the stuff you make out of plastic when you recycle it is not as good as it was. When you recycle aluminum, it's as good as it was. When you recycle glass, really recycle it, it's as good as it was. When you recycle plastic or paper, it degrades in quality. Okay. Plastic breaks down into microparticles. You probably all know about this. The Great Pacific garbage patches, bigger than the state of Texas. There are swirls of tiny plastic microparticles that are getting into fish and birds and all kinds of sea creatures, and beaches all over the world are full of plastic. And this is what happens to plastic, you know? Yeah.
So what I've learned is it's okay to store food in plastic and water in plastic. It's when you heat up the plastic, that's when the toxins are released. So
Okay.
you don't want to heat your food with plastic.
Right. Well, that's what I do. But yeah, that sounds
Don't
great.
leave water bottles in your car or something.
Yes.
Right.
Oh yeah. Any water bottle that's in a hot car, just forget it. You know, you don't want to do that. Possible large-scale solutions. I mean, I'm just like, you know, dreaming. Like I'm just thinking, if we had a bottle bill in New Jersey, we might be able to actually really recycle glass. And if we remove glass from the waste stream, then what's left over would be easier to deal with and more profitable. But I don't know if that's going to happen. As Chris was saying, there are two currently proposed bills in the New Jersey legislature. One to ban plastic bags and straws, and the other would be imposing a fee on plastic bags with the idea that the proceeds go to lead abatement or something.
For New Jersey's, that's what they're using it for.
Yeah. Things you personally can do: you don't engage in wish cycling. Educate yourself. A good place to start is to watch the videos on the Story of Stuff website. They have a lot of videos. The Story of Stuff. Who's seen the Story of Stuff? Anybody? Okay. Story of Stuff is great. They have a lot of other videos. By the way, this is Plastic Free July. There's a Plastic Free July campaign. Half the month is over. You can still participate. Go to the Story of Stuff website. They'll tell you how. Join Zero Waste New Jersey on Facebook. This is this group of people who have ideas for reducing waste. They just have like a produce bag making workshop. This I just bought at ShopRite. Yeah, they have it at every supermarket. Yeah, they come in threes. Use cloth napkins instead of paper. Flour sack towels instead of paper towels. I just found out about flour sack towels. I mean, we use rags, but apparently flour sack towels are really this great thing that you can use for so many things that you use paper for. I don't have them. I don't own them.
What does it look like?
I'm gonna send you a link because I have a link to them.
I can look at that on Amazon.com.
Oh, yeah, Amazon has them. Yeah, Amazon has them.
Oh, today's Prime Day.
I would say compost paper and cardboard. If anyone has any questions about composting, I'll be glad to answer. I mean, the borough doesn't have any more composters left, but there are composters you can buy from the BCUA for $60, a great discount. And you know, backyard composting is not that hard. It's like really low maintenance. And basically avoid single-use plastics of all kinds. And here are some examples of how. You know, use cloth grocery bags, mesh bags for produce and bakery items, reusable water bottles, you've all seen them, reusable hot cups, soda stream machines. I just did this because we have so many, I used to get so many seltzer bottles. You get a soda stream machine, you have one bottle, or maybe two, you know, and yeah. Glass Pyrex food containers to store, carry, and reheat food. Now, a woman I talked to, she said you could even bring them, I haven't done this, you can bring them to supermarkets, and you go to the deli counter and they'll put your cold cuts on a piece of wax paper, they'll put it right in there, they'll put the sticker on there, and you know. And this is what she does, she has mason jars she brings to the Whole Foods, she puts the tare on it, she weighs the jar, she knows what the tare is, T-A-R-E, you know, how much it weighs, and then they take it off. I haven't done that, that's what she does. Steel straws is a big movement now. Steel straws, foldable straws. Drops is a company that I started using. They make laundry detergent and dishwasher detergent. Comes in cardboard boxes, shipped to you, and they're dissolvable packaging, so you have no waste except for some cardboard. Something called Eti wraps. These are called Eti wraps, and there's also another brand called Bees wraps. It's like this kind of thing. It's like kind of waxy. And look at this. This is. You hear that? Right. This is. There's water in here. So you could wrap food in it, you can cover containers with it. Pardon?
Is it, you got an elastic band around?
No. I guess they just meant like that.
Interesting.
It's, and then apparently there are compostable trash bags, but I don't 100% know what's the real deal with that. I don't know if they really, the thing about composting, like I'm a big composter, I have 4 composters, and I used to buy compostable, utensils, and they didn't break down because it has to be really high heat. If we had municipal compost, it would be high heat, but that's not what we have right now. I don't know about the bags, maybe yes, maybe no. And then this is from the BCUA website, the hazardous waste is a whole list here. You can just go to bcua.org and check it out, but those are some dates we have: September 8th at Camp Gaw, October 14th at Bergen County Community College, and November 17th at the BCUA. And also to dispose of computers, that's separate from the hazardous waste, and the borough will pick that up.
We'll pick up electronic waste by appointment. These are 2 things that always, people have a lot of questions on. Latex paints, just open the can, let it harden into a, what's no longer liquid, put it in regular garbage. And alkaline batteries, non-rechargeable batteries they're gonna go out. People have a hard time doing that, but that's where they want them, so.
Rechargeable batteries can be
They
recycled.
can be recycled, they should be recycled, because
And where do they get recycled?
that would, you go to BCUA.
BCUA, okay. And also, I think certain.
Some retailers will take back batteries as well.
I think that's why.
Yeah, that's right.
And then this is about shredding, which we already talked about. You can, and that's it. So, first of all, did anyone not sign up on this list? Okay, I was wondering if we can do that. So, because I'm going to be sending you an email with information and updates. Any other questions for me or Chris?
Oh,
yeah.
With a show of hands, if the borough came to you and said, listen, in order for us to try and improve our recycling quality, you would, on the first week of the month, you would put out your paper, and the second week you put out your recyclables. Would that be amenable? If you
It would help if we had another bin. Like we've got the garbage and the recycle and have another recycle.
I would like to do that, and in a lot of places we can do it, and there's also a lot of people that are pressed for space, but adding a 3rd container, that would be the ultimate.
Yeah, 'cause
You have another container for paper, one for combing or recycling. Like I said, I got Councilman Norgie here tonight, so we've got more dialogue, so, you know what, maybe we will be picking up the papers and the plastic, and the, everything with one pickup. And maybe we'll be picking the paper up at the curb again, I don't know.
Just send it backwards.
We gotta come up with something, because we gotta make it, we gotta change it up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I read about that. I brought this is like a wrap for a sandwich instead of a plastic bag, and it folds up and it has a Velcro. This is another sandwich bag, reusable. This is just a, you've seen these, a foldable, shopping bag. Someone brought this in, so that, we're not sure about this?
We're not sure, I'll find out for you.
This is the right number, but it's a clamshell, so we gotta find out whether it's the right thing. This one, we just brought this in because, rather than using, liquid soaps, just use bar soaps. I think that's all the tricks we have. Okay, so now here's the quiz, All right, this is Rutherford's recycling from today. What do you see in there that shouldn't be there? Oil cans. Plastic bags. Probably the oil bottle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what else? There's another one.
Somebody's hand.
There's a hand.
Yeah, that's not recycling.
Recycle, Chris.
Not this one.
It's like my wife.
Here we go. Hose,
Plastic bag.
lots of plastic bags.
Caps on the
Garden
bottles.
hose. Yep.
Oh, the letters, the paper letters that have the plastic in it, the plastic covering.
Oh.
Bubble wrap?
Can you recycle that?
I saw them pulling off.
Yes.
Oh, are you talking about that?
Oh, those, yeah.
Yeah, I always take the plastic off, but we don't have to.
Yeah.
I think you don't even have to take the plastic off.
We were
right?
told we
You
just.
don't have to, okay.
Very recycling.
Look in the letters, like where the
Paper
address is shown.
Chris,
What?
Paperbacks or like the yellow, like phone books, can you recycle them?
The paper, yes, take one.
How about like hardcover?
No, I won't shred it, no, just put it in and we get a value, corrugated, sheet paper or, like the hardcover books that still work.
Hardcover books are,
That's recyclable.
They go to the library.
Yeah, if you can do, if they can repurpose at the library, especially since we're
Can
here.
I have that back here?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, there, sorry.
What is the likelihood that we strongly recommend our local businesses to only use things that we recycle locally, or do you have a different deal with,
Listen, whatever can reduce the volume, our businesses are, we have, obviously, we have a lot of restaurants, so they're pretty big generators, and we have a lot of education that we need to work on with them, because some of them can't accommodate our automated cans, and they've been plastic bagging their recyclables, and they're gonna have to find another way, so.
Some of them aren't even recycling, everything's going into the garbage.
Yeah, so just so you know, if recyclables are in a plastic bag, they're trash. If you put recyclables in a plastic bag.
If you take a plastic bag and put your recyclables into the automated can or any container, they become garbage.
It becomes trash, and we have to pay someone to trash that. So.
You know, I mean, even working with our local businesses, I know, like, sometimes we get a takeout from the pizza parlor, and if we forget, they always throw in plastic knives.
I know.
It's like, I don't need that.
That's an education, you're absolutely right, most people don't need it, and they get it anyway. Just go on, right?
Where I have my,
whatever, like.
What percentage do we feel is recycling in town?
Right now, we're at about 37%, which is actually,
Don't put them back in there.
comparatively, it's pretty high. The problem is we've got to get the quality up there.
That's by weight?
Sorry?
By weight?
Yeah, 37%.
We have a question.
That's what we're doing. So is that clear to everybody that you don't put plastic bags in
Take the
recycling,
bag
right?
off, put the.
Any source. That's a big problem. It's a big
like
problem.
aluminum foil, the box, I take off the metal.
Yeah, so
If the aluminum foil's clean, that's recyclable.
But no, the box that it comes in.
She's talking the
you
cutter,
rip it off.
the cutter on the
Cutter.
aluminum.
Oh, on the aluminum foil?
On the
Yeah,
box.
so I take
No,
that
you
off.
just, no, just put the container in, that's recyclable.
The edge, it's either metal or.
Oh, you're talking the metal edge on there?
Yeah.
That's-
the parents, and I think that's the best way to educate them.
Are you?
I take it
My
off.
son is a fifth grader, so I know he comes back and says, oh, he doesn't have waste management.
Well, sure, we'll do it if you want, we'll do it if you want. So,
But
yeah,
they have,
That's not good anymore, then he wants us to.
but do they have the education? I want to thank everyone for coming, and if each one of you could tell 4 people everything you learned, that would be amazing. I mean, think about that.
The PowerPoint, is it gonna be online?
Is it going to be, where's Greg? Greg, can we put this PowerPoint
If you
online?
put it into a Dropbox link, you
Can?
can do it. Yeah.
Okay, so, and can we put the movie online again? Okay, yes, the answer is yes. Oh, and also, this whole session is being videotaped.
Why don't you put it on Facebook, and then Facebook and everybody can share it.
I'll add it.
Put it on Facebook.
And then they can share
We raised our
it.
hands.
I'm
Okay.
sorry?
You asked us you made a proposal, and we all raised our hands.
Oh, about the recycling, I said if we, it's getting away from doing single stream recycling as we currently do, if we went back to a dual stream process. where we
You just wanted to be one more step removed.
Well, yeah, what would happen is you would have to accumulate at any given time, either 2 weeks of
Sure.
commingle or 2 weeks of
The
picking.
green can is too big for a small family. I mean, I can put it out every 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Only 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not twice.
Is there
And I'll give you, I'll be honest with you, this is, you're aware of the summer collection schedule, and we pick up garbage in June, July, and August, twice a week, because it's very unpopular not to. But in that period of time, our volume of garbage, our tipping fees go up significantly. And I believe that our recycling, and our recycling values go down, because people become just, people look at recycling like I've got 2 big receptacles. So if I can reduce the amount of garbage I put in my recycle, I have more room to put my garbage. I think in the summertime, people just get lazy and complacent and just put everything in, so.
Plus, if it's clean, it shouldn't matter that it stays there for.
I mean, is there any chance that we could change that? Or?
Well, the other issue is, it's a very sensitive issue. And one of the reasons is, in the summer, the garbage,
Smells.
we got food maggots,
Yeah.
and that's why we do it.
You just put it in your neighbor's.
If you, or if you compost it, then it won't smell.
Right. Listen, there's definitely a
That's
work.
right.
Is all this just Rutherford specific, or like I have a friend in New York, I have a friend in other towns?
This is Rutherford specific.
Okay, like the
This
bottle
is a-
caps is everybody, or
Yeah,
Rutherford?
no, that's, the bottle, taking the bottle caps off is any particular MRF, material recovery facilities.
Yeah, I mean. Oh, plastic bags, yes. Plastic bags, that's universal.
Supermarket.
Yeah.
Is the town gonna get more compost or?
I'm sorry, hold on, what?
Will the town be getting more composters or you're not getting?
If there's a demand for it, I mean, we can look into it. I mean, the last bunch we bought, Sharon, it's been a while, so.
I mean, but the thing, you know, we've been giving compost workshops. I mean, I think we can continue to do that. And people.
We'll research it, we may be able to buy them at, you know, at a discount for the borough, so.
Yeah, that might be, I'm sorry.
The cap on the plastic bottle, you said, don't put the cap in.
Garbage.
What about that little stupid ring?
That's,
That's on.
no, I don't have to pull it off.
No.
No, that little, I know what you're talking about, it's such a small piece of the component, it's
And
not.
so hard to do.
Well, plus it won't get stuck, because it'll be
Eileen?
attached to
Yeah,
the
that's
bottle.
true.
Yeah, there was a thought at our last meeting that if enough people, that we would collect names of people that want those composters, when we get to a certain number, maybe 20 or something, that we would propose that the town buy that many, so he doesn't have.
We went to BCUA and got it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you can get one at BCUA. I mean, honestly, if you can go to BCUA, I mean, the one they have there is great.
Oh,
It's
so
just,
they
it's
sell
just,
compost?
yeah, it's just a pain in the neck to
How
get
about
there
that?
because it's Monday through Friday, 8 through 4, and you got to call in advance.
Yeah.
Can you just show them the website?
They're like a garbage can, you know, they're
Do you have
like,
you can give a model number on them, because we might be able to look at something like that.
it's called Earth Machine.
All right, so maybe we can get to that.
It'll be more expensive than the one you had, but I think it's a little better, honestly, you know.
Or maybe if the borough bought them in bulk, we could, you know, we might do a little better, so.
Yeah, so, I
Maybe
mean-
available to a co-op also. so.
Yeah, I mean,
We're trying to get grant.
I mean, the great thing when the borough had them is that they were easily available, and the borough even offered to drop them off, you know, and with BCUA, it's a pain to get there, you know. But, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you to say a word. I'd like to thank Chris Sider, thank you for coming tonight.
No problem, my pleasure.
Appreciate it, our green team. Thank you, green team, thank you, Brian. Such a good
I hope we get more information out of you, so thank you.